Okay, we're going to call the November 2022 meeting of the Lake Quinsigamond Commission to order. So, thank you all for coming. When we get through with the kibitzing in the back. All right. You guys ready? Okay. Awesome.
It's like being back in school.
It is. It is. Don't make me throw you out. Okay. So this meeting's being recorded, so everyone saw you guys talking over there when we started the meeting. And so if you want to watch it later on, you'll be able to do that on the SMC app or on Shrewsbury Media Connections cable station. So, just want to review and act on the acceptance of the minutes for the October 2022 meeting. Did anyone get a chance to peruse through those?
Mr. Chair,
Sure,
I read it, and can I suggest one small change?
sure.
We're under discuss and review no wake zone at Corzini Boat Ramp. B, where it says current and proposed buoy locations inhibit launching and landing of crew boats. All proposals will be in race lanes. It's only the proposed buoy locations inhibit, the current ones do not.
Okay. We got some feedback, as I recall. It wasn't really about racing. It was about guys, those getting. One comment was that they couldn't see him in the dark. And the other one, I think there was a fog issue or something like that. But there was some navigation issue, especially in an 8, when you're coming off the dock or coming into the dock, and you got to navigate around the buoy. So we're going to try to figure out something that that'll work for everybody the best we can. I don't want to inhibit the effectiveness of the markers there to keep all the motorboats down. So, and it did kind of concern me a little bit that they said they couldn't see it because it was too dark out. So.
Actually, the comment I recall was that in conditions in the fall, when there's a slight amount of fog on the first foot of the water,
Right.
The white fog is the same color as the white buoys, and that could easily be solved at the buoys where, one of these, like the shirt cell rowers where the bright yellow, the bright fluorescent
Right.
orange, the bright fluorescent green.
Do they make buoys like that? I think we can put strips on them, anything we want, right?
Yeah, we could probably put a reflective material on them. I don't think they make buoys
That are,
yellow.
yeah,
Could be wrong on that.
yeah. They all the
It's
bottom.
usually a stickered material on it.
Okay, so all right. We certainly, we want them to be as visible as possible. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
With that slight change, I make a motion, we accept the minutes of the previous meeting.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so voted. So review and approve bills and expenses. We do have one. Excuse me. Somewhere here. No, we don't have.
134 for the telegram for the drawdown notice.
Where's that? Oh, this. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So it's $134 for the drawdown notice.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there it is, right there. The one you have marked in bright yellow, like the buoy,
That was Jesse.
but I didn't see. All right. So we have a bill for the drawdown notice for $134 for the Worcester Telegram. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion, we approve the bill for $134 for the Worcester Telegram and Gazette for the drawdown notice.
Is there a second?
Second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No one? Okay. Moving on. Public participation. Is anyone here on the list? No? All right. And update on the lake management plan, on the drawdown. So the drawdown is happening. I actually visited the dam yesterday when they were taking down the gate. That's always interesting thing. So we're down, and I think we're gonna do this one drawdown, and we're probably gonna do one more and bring it all the way down to the bottom. So after next week, the dam gate will be all the way down, and I suspect within the first week of December, the lake will be at the winter pool or the winter level of the lake. So you expect it to be down probably about 30 inches vertical height. Some shores will go out further, and some shores won't go out so far. Excuse me. So we should be good to go after that. And it went down pretty smoothly all season. I don't know if anyone at home has noticed that. The rain brought it up a little bit this week. Right now, it's chugging over the Hovey Dam at about 84 or so cubic feet per second. So it's going pretty good. Typically, it'll slow down. It starts off about 100, and when they drop it, starts off about 100 something, and then it goes down to maybe 30 or 40. So when it gets to that level, you know it's got down pretty close to the level of the top of the dam. So that the dam itself seemed to be operating well, so that's good. And we have an addition to the crew down there, the dam maintenance crew. So that's also good to hear. More resources. Update on weed mapping. Lake Quinsigamond. We have anything on that yet? Perfect. You want to do that when you do your thing? Okay. Perfect. And updating the pilot study for natural heritage. We're in communication with natural heritage. We're going back and forth, and we're still trying to schedule a meeting with our representative there and for the state. So we're hoping to get that done. Probably be over the off season when we actually sit down and meet with those folks. And update on invasive species treatments on Lake Quinsigamond and Newton Pond. They're pretty much done for us this season, so we can move on from that. And I don't have any new news for the drawdown permits for Newton Pond yet, so that's still in the process of doing that. So I'm hoping to get that done for the springtime this year, finally. And update on the Grafton CPC project. We still do not have the final report. We are getting bills from the vendor, and we're waiting for the report to come in for our last payment. So hopefully we'll get that within the next week or so. And when I do get that report, my plan is to publish it on the Lake Quinsigamond Commission website and pass around to Worcester or wherever. If you guys want to put it on the Blue Space website, or sorry. Did you ever do a Blue Space minute on the dam?
On
The lowering the gate?
yeah, well, we have a drawdown Blue Space Minute,
Okay,
yeah.
just not on that.
It actually, it takes place there.
Oh, does it? Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
We don't have video of it actually occurring, but the footage is all of that area.
Okay. So it'd be next Tuesday at 10 o'clock if you want to come down and see it. When you film it, because we did it one year for the lake show, and it goes down so slow that it doesn't look like it's moving. You know, and you just kind of see all of a sudden, it goes down below the water, and you can kind of see the water going over the top of it. So it's very, it's kind of like a little evolution there.
That might be nice to get some footage of that.
And that moves us on to an update from Jacqueline Burmeister, Senior Environmental Analyst, Lakes and Ponds, City of Worcester.
Great.
something a little bit different for you all today. As you all know, my name is Jacqueline Burmeister. I work for the City of Worcester Department of Sustainability and Resilience. I'm the coordinator of the Lakes and Ponds program there. And what we do is we are looking to monitor and manage water quality at Lake Quinsigamond. And a lot of the way we do that is we collaborate with groups like you on projects related to the environment and public health. And so usually we spend most of the year going out to the lake, doing all sorts of monitoring, doing projects when we can. And at this point, we finished our monitoring and we're going into that stage where we're reviewing all of our data, putting it together to create a report on what we found, and kind of evaluating what we've done this year, figuring out what works, and switching it up for the next year. We have our big State of the Lakes event that's going to happen probably in February. You're all invited. We spend a good time talking about Lake Quinsigamond. But in the spirit of review, I just thought this would be a great time to talk a little bit about what we've done at Lake Quinsigamond this year. So I wanted to pass you out this little worksheet,
Oh, thank you.
as well as a flyer on an event that we have where we're reviewing data that volunteers have collected.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If anyone else wants a copy, we have them up here. So this past year, we've done a variety of different water quality monitoring on Lake Quinsigamond. We have our 4 times monthly monitoring that we have a full-time biologist that goes out and collects this data. We collect data on temperature, SECI, pH. We do a variety of nutrients, profiles of the lakes. We do it at various tributaries, and we do that in the lake itself. And we report that data to you at these meetings, as well as create reports at the end of the year that are available on the city website, and we have the State of the Lakes event. So this is something that we've actually hired a full-time biologist to do. He probably spends about 5 hours a week working specifically on Lake Quinsigamond. All the sampling that he does that we send to the lab, that costs about $8,300 so far this season. So that's a lot of sampling that's been done. In addition, we had extra sampling this year that was done in response to the Lake Ave pump station incident. A lot of this was picked up by the Department of Public Works, but we pretty much stopped everything that we were doing during that week of February 6th, and we went out, probably spent about 40 hours of staff time between 2 people, and the cost for the lab analysis cost probably about $11,000. And the purpose of that was to collect data so that we could report to you all on the quality of the water of the lake to ensure that, things were what the status of that water quality was, and inform some of the public health advisories. Some of the other monitoring that we did this year was cyanobacteria monitoring and response. In addition to the cyanobacteria monitoring that's performed by our volunteers at Flint Pond, Newton Pond, and Lake Quinsigamond, they bring in those samples, and then we spend time analyzing those samples as City of Worcester staff. So we spend probably about 2 hours a week analyzing and creating those reports for all of you guys to use to make water quality choices about to provide you with that information. We have 2 water quality monitoring buoys, autonomous buoys, that have been out there all summer collecting this data. Those cost about $5,600, and so they've been out there collecting that data. We are looking to get that data visible on our website so you could monitor it in real time. But as for now, we'll be reviewing that data at the State of the Lakes. In addition to all of this monitoring, we've also supported monitoring that has been taken on by the Lake Quinsigamond Watershed Association. Back in 2019, we worked with them to create a water quality monitoring plan that was approved by DEP. And since then, we've supported that plan and that monitoring. This year, about $2,800 was spent on bacteria monitoring from the city of Worcester for that program. So they've been collecting samples at the major tributaries and in Lake Quinsigamond, keeping an eye on that. And then finally, the invasive plant mapping program that we contracted through TRC, an environmental group. They just got back to me today. The maps are complete. I will be forwarding them to the commission so that they can be used to write the RFP necessary to solicit to put out the bids, the work for the invasive weed control next year. So we feel like we've contributed a lot to Lake Quinsigamond this past year, that we spent a lot of staff time, and we've made a huge contribution of funds. This funding is all tax levy, so it is coming from the city. We do oversee that as a program, and we do have to make those choices about what we're doing. But we feel like a lot of what we're doing aligns very much with what the commission's goals and aspirations are for Lake Quinsigamond, in addition to the monitoring, which I know is very important. We also really hope to collaborate with you more in the future on water quality improvement projects. And so in this next year, I really hope that we could meet and talk about what your aspirations are, what your goals are, some potential projects that we can work together on to not just monitor, but also better manage Lake Quinsigamond. One thing that I have offered and will offer again is the invasive plant management. I understand that you are considering putting out to bid the writing of the RFP. We write RFPs in Worcester for the contracting of this type of work. And so we are able to do that, and we are able to work with you. And this is just a service that we are providing to you as the commission from the city of Worcester, free of charge. So I really do hope that you consider taking advantage of that, and that you also consider coming to our cyanobacteria monitoring data review event, which is occurring on December 8th. This is where we're going to look at all the data that was collected by our great volunteers, including the chair of this commission and some of the folks from the Watershed Association who've been working hard all summer to collect this data and to really understand better what's going on in these lakes. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Just, would you, excuse me, would you be recommending any water improvement projects outside of the weed management control?
I think that there's a possibility for that, but it really would have to be a collaborative effort. You know, when we do these types of projects, we try to work with local associations, watershed associations, commissions, in order to make sure that everyone is on the same page and is, you know, we're not trying to do something that isn't supported by the rest of the community. So I would really love to talk to you more about what we see as a possibility and the goals that you have and the types of projects you would like to see.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions, comments? Bill, you're all set? Yes, I'm gonna. Thank you.
So there's more flyers here if you're interested in grabbing these. And there's a QR code on there you could scan and you could pre-register for the event. We're going to be ordering catering from a really great local eatery. If you sign up, we'll have a better idea of how much food to order. But
always helps.
yeah, so if you want to do that, that would be great. It's just at City Hall. After work hours, and we're going to be celebrating all the great work of our volunteers. So we really do encourage you to join us and support their efforts.
Great, Jacqueline. So you had something?
No.
Oh, but just a quick thing before you go. You know, on behalf of the commission, I want to say thanks to you for all the work and the hard work you guys have done, and especially for the volunteer programs that have just have been very well run and organized, and you know, we're grateful for all the information we're getting from that and all the good it's been doing. And you know, we look forward to, you know, keeping this going. And I look forward to, I'm speaking for myself, to be there on the 8th and enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Yeah.
Because it's you know, fascinating and scary at the same time, especially in front of my place.
Yeah.
So
It's this year's been crazy for cyanobacteria,
Yeah.
and so we are another thing that we've been working on with members of the Watershed Association, as well as some of the some public health officials. How can we communicate what the risks are about the increased observations of scums that we're seeing, especially in this fall season, right? And so if you have any thoughts on that as individuals, having been out on the lake, what you've experienced, I'd be really interested to talking to you about that, and yeah, better understanding what you think would be an effective way of communicating that.
perfect.
Great,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
absolutely.
We're gonna move on to commissioners' reports. I'm gonna defer mine to after. Does anyone have a, Sergeant Garman?
Yesterday, we had the law enforcement meeting, the end of year law enforcement meeting for Lake Quinsigamond with Shrewsbury, DCR, a bunch of other organizations, environmental.
Oh, great.
I can report that the state police are going to be a factor in the lake next year. They're going to have a boat assigned to Sea Troop, which is out of Holden, and they plan on manning that boat along with Shrewsbury, Worcester, and environmental on Lake Quinsig next year. So there'll be an additional law enforcement boat on the water next year.
Cool. Is that the same boat they had this?
No, they're gonna bring a small boat in. They're gonna bring in a much smaller boat because that boat obviously is
Yeah.
very large for this lake. But they said, you know, that they're committed to being here next year to help with the enforcement on Lake Quincy. So that's a plus. Our boat went out to bid. It should be closing soon. I think our boat, and this is something that the commission is going to probably be brought up. I think we're going to dock our boat at the Shrewsbury Boathouse with environmental. Last I heard yesterday was environmental being tossed out of their bay. So they get, and it's the safest place to dock the boats on the lake, because our new boat won't be able to fit into the current boathouse that we have there, and we don't feel secure leaving it docked.
Beaching it.
Yeah, over there anyway. Yeah.
In front of a regatta?
There could be some rogue people on the water on a police boat. So we're looking to, the discussion started yesterday. It's above my pay grade, but the discussion is going to go further on between the two chiefs that we dock our boat on something over at the Shrewsbury Police Boathouse.
All right.
Besides that, everyone there was, the DCI people were pleased, and I got to give kudos to Shrewsbury for the amount of work they did on the ramp, the Donahue ramp over there, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They did their stats were just phenomenal.
Yeah, Corazini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Made our jobs a lot easier.
Right. And you guys also did a good job at Browning Beach, because that's, they're like
Yeah.
the stereo speakers there. It's going on both sides of it. So,
But
Appreciate
I think there were 5 accidents total on the lake. They reported, environmentalists, there were 5 accidents total on the lake last year. Nothing, outside of the boat accident with the drowning and stuff like that. Most of them were minor.
right. All good news. I really appreciate everything the law enforcement's done.
Thank you.
It's getting a little bit better, I think, every year. Sergeant Vitos, you want to follow up on?
The good sergeant over here covered most of it.
Right.
We had a very successful year. We're looking forward to improving next year. We got some things in mind, some things in the works. We're hoping they pan out. We can discuss those details at a later date.
Okay, perfect. The task force, so you guys are, the task, you're not gonna be meeting
No, we won't meet again until April.
April? Okay.
Yeah, that was the closeout. Just, it was like more of a stats, what we did right, what we did wrong.
Yeah,
what we can
no,
do
I think
better.
I think it's awesome. Just like communication.
One of the things was, I'm not sure, I can't speak for Shrewsbury, but we had that 2-person mandatory on a boat. State
Yeah.
police has the same. And that's what took a lot of state police patrols away this year, was they had to pull someone off the boat to a different boat in like the Merrimack River or something like that,
Right.
further away, So they have the 2-person minimum as well as we do. And it makes it's hard. Like, environmental does not have that. So we tossed around of, if Worcester has a single boat and the state police has a single boat, or we can join up on one boat, type of thing, so we can keep the enforcement out there. But that's something that's gonna come up in the April, and like I said, that's above my pay grade too.
Right. Well, the state police boat they had this year, I'm surprised they didn't have a crew on it, like the Coast Guard.
Yeah, they said
Yeah.
they said they're gonna keep the boat, out of the Holden Barracks, so-
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a smaller boat.
Okay. But you don't know if it's gonna fit under the Stringer Dam?
Probably not.
No. Any word on that? Getting a,
I brought it up, after that last commission's meeting, I brought it up, for the Flint Pond, putting our boat over there, but, I haven't heard anything back yet.
okay. Perfect. All right, good. Very good. All right, so, moving on, Mr. Nelson.
Rowing from the boat club is really closing out. The weather's getting pretty cold. The Quinsigamond Boat Club had their last race 2 Saturdays ago, the Caffeine Classic. WPI and Holy Cross requested 1 additional week of practice, which is this week, which delayed the removal of the docks from last Saturday to this Saturday. But I certainly aren't going out there when it's 35 every morning, and I haven't seen much activity around the boathouse this last week myself. So it's cold weather rules are strictly in effect, and basically the activity's ended for the winter.
Okay, cool. Are the Worcester Boat Club guys still doing it out there? Because I don't think 35 bothers them.
Affirmative, they are still rowing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
There's something, yeah.
Some of the 8s in both clubs can go out, because the 8s don't tip over, so people can put lots of sweatshirts and other things
Yeah,
on,
right, yeah,
sweatpants,
yeah.
because they're not going to be in the water and get waterlogged. But the smaller boats don't want to load themselves up with lots of heavy clothing in case they tip.
Yeah, I can see why. All right, perfect. Very good. All right. Ms. Doherty.
No report.
Okay. Cool. Ms. Fiore.
No report?
All right. Perfect. Okay, so my report basically is more of a kind of a wrap-up from the season. I just want to thank everyone that's participated, the Lake Quinsigamond Commission, everybody from the rowing community, Luke from Community Sailing and Rowing, obviously the commission. And, it was a challenging year. We got through it. We can see that we're progressing in terms of, law enforcement and, environmental management on the lake. Programs are we're getting more experience with all of that stuff, and we can see, and I really appreciate the municipalities involved in this: the city of Worcester, the town of Grafton, town of Shrewsbury, all the time and effort that we've put in. Alyssa and Angela, who is sorely missed. Jessica, everyone who's worked with the commission, the folks at SMC. Who come in and film this, and this is not a meeting that's actually on their official to-do list. So we really appreciate them coming in here and doing this meeting for us, and so everyone can kind of see what's going on and what we're doing. So I think it's important for the community, and I really appreciate everyone's efforts and all the hard work that everyone's put in. And he doesn't like to be called out, but Mike Liberty, who is kind of this behind-the-scenes go-to person when we want to get stuff done, and the official boat tour driver of the Lake Quinsigamond Commission. So Thank you very much for all of that stuff. And that's it for me on that. The next up is the Lake Quinsigamond Watershed Association. I did thank you guys, right?
I'm going to thank all of our people right now. All
Okay, I'm gonna thank you again
400
after.
members. No, but I don't have much to report. We had, our intern gave us a last-minute call out. She couldn't get out of work to do our report on our bacteria sampling that we did this summer. So that will have to wait till February, unless you have a January meeting. So we'll do a report on that. But we have a lot of volunteers with the watershed, a lot of people that do a little bit, a few people that do a lot, and we're always looking for more volunteers. So, people in the audience, I know a lot of people tell me they watch the show, so we'd really like to get more people doing a little bit because it goes a long way. We can just, one activity a year. We've got a lot of people that help with the cyanobacteria. It's one Saturday. You can do it one Saturday and one Monday. You can be a backup when somebody's away on vacation. We need some backup boaters for, the bacteria monitoring. Mike does that, but sometime he might want to be on a vacation on a Monday. And a lot of times it changes. We were trying to do it on Mondays, and then something would come up, and he had to change his schedule. So we're always looking for help. And I also wanted to thank Jackie for all her help. I've been part of the watershed for over 20 years, like 23 years, and president for 10 years. And I have been involved way before we had help from the city, and we didn't have a paid person to help us with the watershed, and it's completely different. We have someone to run ideas back and forth, just to bounce ideas off of. It's a person to contact. Hey, there's an overflow. Hey, there's, we saw this, we saw that, instead of just kind of, not putting it in the, online in the DPW inbox. It was a little bit more adversarial, I'll have to say, before Jackie. So it's great for us. We're really excited to have that. And so listing the I came to mind when she's listing all the finances that the city gives, but it's also her and Nick's salaries that, we're all volunteer, but we need paid staff to really make this happen. So it really, really helps. So, and I don't know how to quantify that, but, so we'll see you next year. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, let's see, review correspondence, which we don't really have anything in here. No? And set date for the next meeting. I do want to set a tentative date for January, the last Wednesday, or the fourth Wednesday, or whatever it is.
25th.
25th.
Unsure if this room will be available.
Well, we need to work that out, over the off-season.
Yep.
You may need to find a new home.
The police station's supposed to be opening up a new community room with cameras and stuff. So by the
Perfect.
spring, we should be in there.
I think Sergeant Vitos is having a yoga class in there on the last Wednesday night of, so that may not be an option for us. It'd be good. It'd be cool if we could do that. It'd be nice. And fitting, actually, because,
It's gonna be a great building.
yeah, it looks pretty good now. So, all right, with that, and I believe this may be a record.
I
me.
think so.
Yes.
Okay. I would take a motion to,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
You can't say that fast enough. I second the motion.
all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.